All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got game number 2 coming at you now for the GG.Bet Invitational. NIP versus Odium, of course. Odium is up 1-0.
Surprise,
so
surprise.
Far. Yeah, a little bit. And BreakyCPK joined by GoDz, of course, as your casters. Entertaining game number 1. I mean, 63, 64-minute game, Arc Warden. That tends to happen, but here we are. Going to be jumping into our second game now, so curious to see how NIP kind of reacts to that themselves. Definitely some flaws with their draft. The lack of crowd control was the biggest thing that stood out to me.
Yeah, they picked the Storm pretty late, and then they never really had the best answers for him. They also kind of just found themselves on the back foot, playing against a draft that they didn't have good answers for, and it turned into an Arc Warden 1v5 kind of game where they could still win it. That's why you pick a hero like Arc Warden, is that you get to those late-game scenarios, and you maybe have a slightly worse overall draft, but Arc Warden gives you a way to win through split push, red Dota, through pickoffs, by just being an amazing late-game carry. Like we saw any fight where Storm tried to right-click battle the Arc Warden, you could see why Arc Warden was just such a scary hero late-game.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one of those heroes that we had mentioned in terms of Phoenix being on the other side, one that you could consider picking up in the Troll Warlord. My personal observation, I cast a lot of Dota over these last couple of weeks. Troll hasn't been the most successful hero, though, overall.
10 seconds remaining.
So, and I don't know if it's been because of the line that's built around him, like obviously one that would ideally like some sort of crowd control so he can just beat on people, not have to line his bashes. But we see it a lot in this kind of quote-unquote counter, but it doesn't necessarily shine as much as you would think. So I'm not saying that's going to be the case here, but I don't know. It's just something I've been noticing, I suppose.
Yeah.
Dire team
Troll's biggest issue is just being bursted. There's a lot of heroes like Tinys, Lenas that early on in the game, the item builds that Trolls go don't make him particularly survivable. He gets, I believe, a health talent at level 10, which helps him out a bit, but Tiny combo can very quickly just delete him from the game.
Yeah. I think it's strength or agility, if I'm not mistaken, for level 10.
Okay.
One or the other. At least it used to be.
Yeah, I think it's maybe
it's
agility or health.
Or they
there's a health talent.
Instead?
Yeah, maybe health instead of strength even. Or maybe it's level 15. That's the case. There's one where there's there's the you either get the axe damage or you get the fervor stacks. I think that's either level 15 or level 20. But some of these characters, the same reason why Gyro suddenly became a big deal is like he had this level 10 health talent that just gave him this 225 health, I think, when it was at its peak, and you're just like, you get that kind of health on a carry early on, it just allows them to fight and play very aggressively because, yeah, Tiny can still go at him, but just even surviving on a couple hundred health means they've just wasted their combo and your team wins the fight versus dying and then your team can't win the fight.
They've been making a lot of changes to talents over time. It's just another thing that allows for the balance of the game to another level, you could say. And obviously, I think we've come a long way since when talents first came out. From things like the respawn time talents being taken away, thank God. And there were some heroes, Lone Druid, Venomancer come to mind. I mean, there was some ridiculous stuff. Anyways, Pugna, third pick for Odium. I suppose Decrepify is already pretty good here.
Yep. Get Decrep against Troll. Life Drain and magic damage against the Cold Embrace as a potential save. Just seems like a solid pick, something that can lane with Tiny. Maybe not even lane with Tiny, but combo with Tiny. So last game, Tiny more in the safe lane as support. I think we're in for another support Tiny, personally. Just seeing Pugna picked up, that to me is more the hero to be played in the 3-position role.
Dire team pick.
And hey, Lil played a hell of a Tiny last game, as we pointed out. You could argue that he was the MVP in a lot of ways, honestly, for that team. So would not be surprised, Mirana, for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Either mid or off lane at this point, you'd probably think. And now Odium responding.
Yeah. Thoughts has been a big Mirana player back when he was on Secret, but also something 33 can play in the offlane, so flexible. Based on what 33 played last game with the Weaver, you kind of maybe see a trend that they may want to play these more scaling offlaners. Not that Weaver was necessarily played that way, but it's a similar kind of... The lane plays kind of similar to a Weaver with Mirana.
It gives more freedom to use that Winter's Curse as well for Winter Wyvern, where usually you're looking, to have opponents, bash on each other to get the kill. In this case, you find a solo target, you set up an arrow easily. I
feel like picking Wyvern without a follow-up stun is bad. Bad idea. I think your draft should always have a follow-up. A lot of people have been doing Winter Wyvern with Lina, seen some in SEA, some Winter Wyvern with Nyx Assassin. Some kind of follow-up stun, because otherwise you're not really taking advantage of the Winter's Curse. You want to be able to chain stun so that they don't get off things like BKBs.
Speaking of Nyx Assassin, that's another hero that I have noticed we've been seeing more and more of. And right now for NIP, it seems like it could potentially be decent for them.
For sure. It's good against Pugna. Carapace this game sounds mighty fine. And definitely is one possibility for them. They'll probably wait to see what Odium pick here because they're going to be revealing another core hero, so they can go for something that's maybe more of a candidate pick. And also, by the way, Nyx is banned. So actually, I just saw that
was
too.
he banned?
So obviously,
yeah,
Odium's on the same line of thought as you that Nyx could cause problems.
I almost don't expect that right now, but there you go.
Yeah, I imagine Odium's thought was, let's ban this Nyx, and then we get to pick Necro or Pugna. Necro gets banned, let's pick Pugna. Pretty standard stuff. As we'll see what NIP get instead. Heroes, I feel like Earth Spirit's coming back if you want some kind of annoying hero to play against for some of these heavy spellcasters.
Radiant team pick.
Now, PL. Ooh. Good PL pick.
You like PL? There's a Wyvern on the other side, but...
Yep. The cores... Troll's actually one of the better cores against PL. It's not like a direct hard counter by any means, but you can go the Battle Fury build. Even as a third or fourth item after you get Diffusal Manta, you can always go back for a Battle Fury. And I think importantly, you have the Whirling Axes with their very high miss chance, which can be dispelled off with Doppelganger, but often you'll just save it for after the Doppelganger, and it has a short cooldown. So that's
until it gets level 25 Doppelganger.
Yeah, then you're in trouble.
Luck.
But just having a nice little AoE spell that you want to be casting anyways, it doesn't have a cast time, is just great against PL.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
at the same time, I think PL, you're not going to see this troll and be like, oh, can't play PL, they got troll. It's just not like that. PL's just one of the best carries right now, period.
Well, like a... no, maybe not. I was thinking more along the lines for NIP. Maybe it's even something like a Timber Saw here. Could be interesting, but...
I feel like that's a very underpicked hero, just in general.
Okay.
Magic damage-wise, though, Pugna Tiny make it a bit harder.
Yeah.
This would be a solution to PL. There's the Ember with his Battle Fury type builds that you could consider. There's not amazing control. That's just Tiny with his lockdown.
Yeah.
So maybe they're the ones who go for that elusive route with their cores.
See that. 1 minute left. Still probably need that Saksa hero first, though, at this point. So you're getting a position
forward. So Shaker's banned, which leaves Earth Spirit,
Dire
Tusk,
team back.
Clockwork, Brewmaster. So they're going to pick their other core. I don't think any of these will be a 4. Yeah. Brew has been every now and then, but this is much more a 33 hero. He's played this going back to the Optic days.
Purge really good against PL.
Yeah,
and against Pugna,
that's actually. I think Brew has been picked and played quite often as the pseudo PL counter.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
So good utility you can get out of this hero.
5
chasing down the PL
remaining.
at all the early stages until he hits level 25. A whole lot easier. And you can't just play for level 25 when you're drafting PL. You're expecting this. You need to have a game plan around the mid game when he has a couple of items at his level 15 to 20 as well. If your win condition involves PL getting level 25, that's a risky place to be in.
Final ban Ogre. Okay. That's not often we see that, but they do need a support
for sure.
Likely.
And Wyvern is often playing that offlane support role. Sometimes as a 5, but often it's just better seen as a lane secure for your offlane because you can spam the Splinter Blast up there. Be very annoying. A Wyvern plus Mirana lane can cause a lot of problems.
5 seconds.
They could go like a Bane route still. Another great setup for Mirana.
Yeah, absolutely. What else could they do? Ogre's nice for buffing up the trolls, the other thing as well with this hero. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that supports that are better against the PL is like Jakiro, perhaps.
Okay, yeah.
That could be a PPD hero. Otherwise...
Treant is still there.
Treant, yeah. You can't get out of those roots anymore with Doppelganger. He'll eventually get a Manta style, but I don't think that still makes the Treant good overall against the PL in some ways. Yeah, that's a potential 5 position support that'll work, and kind of secure the safe lane as well if needed.
They're probably banning a mid hero here, right? Yeah, they ban Invoker.
Yeah, what are Odium looking at here as far as mids? They've going to see probably PL in the safe lane, Pugna off lane, and yeah, they're expecting the Lil support Tiny once more.
Again, why not?
Probably see some strong mid lane depending on where NIP go with their last pick. If it's Mirana mid, you may just want to pick something that can crush it, like a TA. I think TA
10
is one of those heroes that
seconds
Mirana
remaining.
just does not deal with well.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, for NIP, again, they have what we figure is going to be a support option here. So unless they throw a massive curveball, maybe do that position for Mirana and change things up quite a bit. But
Dire team pick.
Use all their drop time in the train. You mentioned this hero. Comes out. PPD.
Treant. He's played this hero once or twice before.
Yeah, I hear he's quite fond of it. Quite fond of the old Treant.
Odium, though. So that mid hero for Odium now. Again, pending that Tiny Bean support, which, under the belief, what are
10
they looking
seconds
for
remaining.
themselves? Could still use crowd control. Was one of the
5
weaknesses. And
seconds
DK always
remaining.
comes to mind as kind of a safe mid for that. Single target at least.
Yeah, the TA route is kind of greedy with the TA and PL, even though you win your lanes. But
Yeah.
for some teams, winning your lanes is just enough, and they don't care if their draft is a bit greedy or not that well-rounded, because if you win majority of your lanes, you can just win the game off of that. TA versus Troll also doesn't sound amazing. Doesn't sound terrible, but what else are we looking at? Stun options, Queen of Pain.
You may
So it's
now select your
another hero that
heroes.
can win the lane, but offer a bit more in terms of team fight. And this time it's on the Odium side, so we get another Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's the idea, though, of, again, the one weakness that concerning for NIP, and we saw it come into play last game, was the lack of crowd control. You feel that same way against Odium this time around, is they are lacking hard CC outside of Tiny. They don't have a lot to rely on. So the mobility in general of Ninjas of Pyjamas is going to be able to take advantage of that. We'll see for them if that truly is the difference maker or not. So it's Flow on Pugna. So yeah, the offlane Pugna, mid Queen of Pain, and of course Ox on PL. On the other side, anything funky going on? It's a Fata Mirana. Oh, that's what we okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing the mid Mirana, which is, I think, a hero that's not played middle too much anymore, just because she struggles in lane with the last hits a little bit. But there's certain ways you can play the lane, catch people by surprise. We're seeing a lot of these mid Miranas just skip arrow and go for like a 2 Starstorm 1 leap build, where you can catch people by surprise, do some big damage, maybe even get a surprise kill. There's not really huge value in the arrow outside of maybe arrowing some range creeps and arrowing some neutrals to boost up your farm a bit further, which is, you know, another way you can play the lane. You know, if you're getting zoned by Quap, arrow some newts, get some gold there,
Yeah.
and go back to lane when it's at your tower. But we're getting some Queen of Pain. Yeah, I like this. Hero that hasn't seen a whole lot of play over the last month or so. Kind of a niche backup mid.
Yeah,
in a lot
and the
of
matches,
ways.
like I said, I've been watching and casting a lot of Dota over these last couple of weeks. I really don't recall much Queen of Pain, if really any, other than now today. So it's fun to see that.
Sometimes heroes just get forgotten about. And I feel like a lot of the time, that's why Ice Rock does these buffs that are like,
Very small.
yeah, tiny little buffs, and it's just like a reminder that this hero exists. And sometimes, you know, people ignore those reminders, and then he'll give that hero 3 or 4 more tiny little buffs, and then suddenly he'll be like, one day he'll be like, wait a second, if you add up all these 3 to 4 patch buffs, it's actually one really
Prepare
big
for
buff
battle.
that makes this hero really good. And then people stop playing, and they're like, oh, wait a second, yeah, we need to play more Qual. She's great.
All right, game number 2. If you happen to be just joining us, of course, 1-0 lead for Odium, as you see at the top of your screen there. And it was one where, in 65 minutes or so, the Arc Warden of Ace for NIP could not overcome, ultimately, just the overall great team play of Odium, and thus leading to their victory, although it was close. It was a very back-and-forth game at points. But best of 3. This is the first round, the opening match of Group A, here for the GG.Bet Invitational. See 3-3 headed towards the top lane. I think Brewmaster is going to be that high impactor. Now, he's going to be the one that kind of controls this game for NIP, really. I go back to, again, really like his purge this game. The Primal
30
Split's going to be
seconds to
very
battle.
useful. It's just a matter if he's able to get them off effectively or not throughout. And as always, going to be annoying in that laning phase. However, they are setting Pugna up here, and I assume it's because of the Brewmaster.
Yeah, I guess they've scouted these lanes out. They're like, well, PL's going to have a better time down bottom. Let's dodge a bit, and we'll see if there's going to be any response from NIP once they recognize Pugna's up here. At this point, you have to walk across the entire map, so it's a very expensive way of changing the lanes. You're going to miss out on a lot of early CS and denies.
Still end up seeing the 2 for 2. Bounty Rune control. Good fight there from Odium to make sure that they get the bounty rune.
Oh, they are swapping lanes on the NIP side. Ace is going to run top and Brew's going to run bottom. And I don't believe... if Odium realized this right now, they would swap themselves, but they're going to realize too late. And now, problem is for them, suddenly running across the map becomes a very inefficient play to make.
Well, they're going to notice Tree and Protector blocking the creep phase, so now they have that information, and yep, PL.
He's starting. He's thinking about it.
They're talking in their chat right now, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a big decision to make. You're giving up 1, maybe 2 waves, 1.5, somewhere in between. And it's a long walk. Brewmaster maybe sees his PL running across here. He's going to now have to reconsider himself. Does he start running somewhere? It's like at some point you have to go to a lane and stick to it.
Exactly.
As a core hero.
Musical lanes, as we like to call it. Slayer, he does not have Icarus dive. They know this. Yeah, he used Fire Spirits. He's dead. Wow. Maybe? Fairy Fire. Just going to delay it, though. Oh, Salve.
Brew is faster.
Get there. Yeah, just slightly faster. Has a Thunderclap just in case, and 3-3 will just simply use it. So, you know what? He's going to get the first blood, and something tells me he may just stick to this now, especially.
Yeah, I think these lanes are going to stick, particularly with the first blood helps secure a lane when you maybe have that slight mismatch. It's just going to make this lane a bit easier for the Brewmaster. And at this point, swapping again would be pretty costly. The nice thing about these swaps, like, even though PL and Pugna weren't getting CS and experience, the supports were. So there is someone, at least in these lanes, that's not entirely wasted.
DPD's taking some good damage. Lil chucked him in and tossed him in even to the Phantom Lancer, but PPD just throws down the Leech Seed. Does have the Nature's guys anyways now.
Now the toss into the tower.
All right, get some tower damage. Yeah, Ace is now in trouble. No living armor, of course. Just throws out the root right there. Flow goes down to the bottom lane while this is happening. So nobody does up top, South Pop it, but Flow, this Brewmaster already off to a fantastic start now at 2-0.
Yeah, very action-packed, and yeah, Odium sending 3 heroes top means that Pugna is not going to have a good time, even though Pugna has the matchup versus the Brew that he wanted. In a 1v2, this suddenly gets a whole lot harder. They have to win top on the Odium side.
I was going to say, you're committing 3, you better at least get a kill out of this. That's the idea. Ace, look at PPD. He's just being a body. He's blocking the most that he can. They get the turn kill on a Lil. However, Troll did fall first, so it's still a minor victory for Odium. And now 3-3, he shows up. Something tells me Ox is going to TP
out of
on
there,
him.
yeah. He's put his TP back in his inventory. He's going for 1 or 2 more last hits. He's probably asking his Pugna, hey Pugna, when it come top, but the problem is Pugna actually TP bottom, I believe, so won't be able to TP out of here for a while. Pugna's going to be supporting the lane. Just casual. I'm going to support Pugna now. You take the CS here, bro.
Oh, are you a dead Pugna? No, he's just going to take plenty of damage yet again, this time from Ace.
Yeah, so the reason that TP top works is because if PL TP's bottom, Pugna has no lane, so the end result is that PL says, okay, I got to stay up here for a bit longer. Or maybe even just stay up here permanently.
Yeah. No Drunken Haze yet. No Doppelganger
at bottom. He's in trouble. He's trying to juke in some trees.
Now they'll lose it.
Oh, he can get the toss back.
Oh my gosh, is this a turn kill? Ace taking plenty of damage. Great combo coming out. Ace, one more auto attack. Cannot get it off. And he pops this out. Look at Lil. Still running. Making the plays. Also getting away in the end. Oh man, he's still not out of here yet.
You can buy a TP maybe?
TP.
We can buy it. He's put it in his stash.
Oh, it's in his stash. Yeah, it's still on cooldown, so.
I don't think he realizes that they didn't find it.
Oh my gosh.
He wants them to chase. He's like, I've got boots, guys.
He just wants to die, yeah. He's just accepting it at this point.
Yeah. I think if he realized that he could TP out there, he would have, but he assumed they were chasing him and that TP was just not going to be successful.
It was on cooldown, from what I could tell.
Oh, that too.
The stash, yeah. So.
The stash one, sometimes the stash one's on cooldown when your actual one is not.
Oh, really?
Okay. Like, depending if your TP was in your backpack or whatever, it can be kind of buggy. But
either way, he just says, you know what? I'll take it the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
Just kill me, please. How about the mid matchup? So much action going on in the side lanes. Almost forgot the mid lane existed. Naive. He's doing a very good time. 24-9. Queen of Pain apparently pretty strong in this middle lane. Fought on Marana. He's finding himself jungling a little bit.
Yeah, not ideal, but take what you can get. Not a lane you can really stay in. Similar to last game with the Quap versus Storm. Once Quap hits this like level 5 2-1-2 build, you got to play very carefully and often pull back in the jungle.
Bottom, Flow. There's no treants on top of him. That level 2 Leech Seed. This is probably a kill. Crapify is going to help a little bit. Here comes the Axis. Here comes Lilo. Can he maybe save the day? Also, Wyvern. Flow is just too much damage. Now going for the kill on Lil, but he tosses them away and just going to waste some time.
Bounty rune's coming up, and it looks like NIP will at least get the one bottom one. They might get both here. Lil
Stun? No. Didn't have it. Just coming off cooldown.
So that was 3 Yeah, it looks like 3 with
so.
33 getting one of the top ones. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got his face boots up. He's a happy camper. Doing a decent laning stages, Brew. I'm fine with the PL anyway, so. Just so action heavy. Like, you see these CSs and you're like, it's 5.5 minutes in. How does nobody have like, that high of CS other than Quap? Like the PL, the Troll, these heroes have 3 CS a minute. That is very low. But at the same time, it's understandable because of all the lane swapping and because of all the fighting in these lanes, they've been forced to not prioritize their farming. They can't. They'll just die if they go for more farming.
See Tiny finding himself back at base again to get some regen, so we'll see where he ends up. If he goes back to the bottom, or maybe tries to make a play elsewhere. Arcane Rune will be taken by Mirana, though. If anything, as a take away from Queen of Pain, who does have a bottle.
Yep. Be handy too, just for some farming. But nice to secure those runes when your enemy mid has bottle, as Naive will quickly realize the rune's gone missing.
Got him. Ace. Blast. He's got living armor, though. It's only level 1, but still enough to maybe deter them in the end. Another blast going out again, but yeah, not enough damage. So I was wondering what kind of build we're going to see on Treant 2. We've seen some different styles. We'll see if he levels up that living armor or if he's just going to go for the 1-point value in this game.
Yeah.
Top lane. Ox, he's dead. Splinter Blast connects.
Naive CP didn't know. Has the first Sonic Wave available if he wants to go for it. So
Ideally
he
not.
wants to use it on a Wyvern, but he will. Gets the creeps as well for that hashtag efficiency. 33 still up here, by the way.
He sure is. Has a Thunderclap. If he hits it, that's a Dead Slayer. He doesn't even need the Thunderclap. He has a right click for 209 damage. That works. Fucking brawler. Yep. So he'll take that. 7-2 hero kill lead, but it's only 1,000 net worth lead, though, for NIP. So it goes back to, you know, as a lot right now in the meta, it's these hero kills aren't necessarily going to really boost you like crazy.
The laning stage farm is much more important most of the time. Bottom lane, they won Ace once again. This bottom lane has been, both side lanes have been a bloodbath.
So the living armor coming into play. And again, it'll help keep Ace alive. Peter Pan Dam almost a distraction, goes forward. With that Leech Seed and the Nature's Guise, man, he's doing a good job staying alive and keeping his teammates alive too, I must say. He gets 3 heroes. I mean, that was not easy.
Having even just 1 point of living armor making a decent difference here. I believe we'll see him start leveling that up, but it's kind of a value point, but it also scales very well. It does. All parts of it, the cooldown, the block damage, the regen, the instances, every part of the spell scales, so there's kind of no point getting a single point.
It's just a matter of, at the same time, level 1 Nature's Guise feels really weak.
Yeah.
That's a 7-second, I want to say, yeah, 7-second Fate Tech compared to eventually 3 seconds. And so you want to get that max out of Ace HP. So I can understand, you know, why they value it in different ways.
Yep. Oh, for sure. It's both his first and third spell. You need lots of points in to get the proper value from them.
Flow. That's fine. Peter Pan Dam this time might be in trouble. No living armor to use. Must it say that he pops a stick? What am I saying? He's fine. Not much damage coming out there.
Sure is. It's Queen of Pain looking to rotate down bottom, though. Naive wants to get in on this action.
There's coming. There's the Whirling Axes. No chance for the Troll, though. That's 4 heroes coming together. Little credit for the kill, but he's doing a great job. Soxa, Arctic Burn, burning away the life of Slayer. Not enough damage, though. Nothing to Splinter Blast, unfortunately. So he will be able to TP out successfully. Got a 4-man rotation, but Naive makes his way back to the middle lane. Oh, that dodge.
Being close to a kill. He did have raindrop, so it would have blocked some of the arrow damage, but he gets a double Starstorm. Well, this is going on. Brew did take the top tier 1 tower, so 33 almost has a Blink Dagger already.
I mean, again, I don't know if you feel exactly the same as me, but Brewmaster has potential to really take off this game and do a lot of work throughout. So I think this is huge for NIP.
Yeah, he's destroying. PL's been forced into the jungle, which is not a happy place to be. You're just not going to farm well there. But at the same time, you can't lane versus Brew, and bottom lane, there's all this fighting going on. So it might just be the best place to farm for him. Mid lane perhaps looks a little bit better because Mirana's not going to... Mirana can bully you if you get hit by Starstorm too, so... There's just no safe lane for the PL until this top lane becomes dangerous, which they can try and threaten the Brew out of this lane, which it seems like is going on.
Oh, well played by Slayer. He snatches that bounty ring.
And scouts the fact there's a Blink Dagger too.
True.
He's being chased though. 33 wants to punish. Won't get a chance to blink.
Unless TPs come in, he has a kill, which there's a TP. Oh god, the Fire Spirits. It doesn't matter though, because Fonta's here to clean up.
Phoenix has the experience tome when he comes back. Not the end of the world that he dies there. Bottom lane, meanwhile.
Go over and toss on a Wyvern. Just to get away.
So he's having a lot of fun with his Pugna taunts. Mr. Xylophone.
One of those heroes dancing plenty on. Alright, what kind of build are we going to see from Troll, do you think? This,
it's like, do you Battle Fury or not is kind of the question.
Okay.
You either go like SMY BKB or Yasha BKB into like your late game items, or you go Battle Fury into Yasha BKB.
Has Mass Command has kind of died. I know Luna is maybe a hero you still see it on, but outside of her,
it's still very viable. I think it's actually quite good on Troll. Some Troll players are still building it all the time. Others are just building it situationally.
At M3-3, he's not going to use a Primal Split. Just got to juke it, and now he'll go for it. And that's awkward timing.
Yeah. I think ideally Brew should be able to get both kills here. You stun the Pugna, kill him off, and then you Cyclone Lil's Tiny. If you send the Wind Panda after the Tiny, I think you can get both. It just comes down to, like, can you quickly and easily kill Pugna with just the stun, or do you need a Cyclone for him? And I think with Aces, Whirling Axes, it should be pretty straightforward.
3-3 is a great Brewmaster player, no doubt, but honestly, this just even helps him more, right? Now he gets to sit here and be like, all right, let me make sure I click this guy over here, and it's over here.
There's a Phoenix in the neighborhood with a Supernova. He popped that experience tome, so I don't think that changes anything too drastically. If anything, going in with a Supernova is just going to feed away another kill because of Battle Trance. But we'll see. Potential for TP rotations. Naive on Quap, no TP. PL has TP in backpack, so I don't think we'll see any dire TPs. They just want to get out.
Here we go. There's the lift, as expected. Pugna's dead. Supernova not going to happen, and Tiny will indeed go down after the fact. They perch him down. Another Her Boulder. And Saksa credit for the kill. So, yeah, great use of the Primal Split. Even though he shut off the blink earlier, he's able to make very effective use of it right there and stop that bottom push. So again, as expected, making use of that early Blink Dagger is 3-3. So now it's on the hands of Queen of Pain, Naive, and going for that early Orchid, as we saw last game with Fata. Doing the same thing. Are we going to see the Yule's reaction this time around, I wonder?
I
don't really suppose who.
I'm trying to think who would... Yeah, I
guess
think
Mirana
would
maybe.
rather BKB. The Yules can be fun to set up arrows and all that, but I think BKB makes more sense. Brewmaster, probably Brew Patrol, same thing. I don't think we'll have any Yules on the core heroes.
See a Lotus eventually on Brew.
Yep, you can see it. Definitely see a Lotus. That's one possibility. We'll see where he does head. But yeah, no Yule Sept is needed. Definitely a better game because of that. I think for the Orchid, it feels like you're going to have a bigger window where you can get kills using it before the BKBs come into play.
Some tech issues for Odium, but hopefully got that figured out. As Peter Pan Dam is still going to sit on the level 1 living armor for now. Again, level 2 Nature's Guise. Got, of course, the point in Overgrowth. Applying that to heroes for the time being. Eventually, the towers, of course, are going to start taking effect as well.
Under attack.
Extra annoying factor against playing against the Treant Protector, which right now the Radiant squad, they still have all their towers up, but the Dire, they've lost that top tower earlier. Big fight breaking out right here. Witch's Curse on Pugna. It's only Tiny hitting it for the time being, so not going to be a kill. Supernova forward. That's an iffy spot, though, but a great decrypt. Might keep it alive. No, Saksa will finish it. Close call, but no cigar. Flo's dead as well, and Lil, I don't think you're getting out of this one, buddy. No blink or anything. Just a matter of time.
Dead.
That's going to be 3 kills. It was a good idea. The synergy was almost there, but not enough for Odium.
Yeah, it's just such a large amount of time that was given to rotate. The Winter's Curse duration meant NIP were able to make sure enough people were able to come into the fight, set up, and play around the follow-up. Supernova was, I think, in a bit too reckless of a place, a bit ambitious. But at the same time, it probably needed to be pretty deep for them to win that fight.
Ooh, Hicker's dive.
He was fast on that dive, yeah.
He's still dead.
Nicely played. The Observer would, I believe, revealed because of that, but yeah, may as well get the kill. The award was only going to, it's half his duration done, so why not?
Dire's middle tower.
Nice. Over here, he's going to be spotted by Treant Protector. Overgrowth? He's got it. He's using it, no doubt. Yeah, to lock him down. 3-3. Does he split? He doesn't have a split.
Oh, he got another root.
Oh, and he gets the crit in the end. The second root, the level 4 Nature's Skies is why they get that kill.
I was expecting him to blink away after the overgrowth, but you're right. Going for that Nature's Skies build heavily paying off here. And it's Queen of Pain who at some point is going to need a Yule Scepter for these roots. May even consider it over the Orchid at this point.
Yeah.
Based on that death. It's one of those things where players with their item choices can be very reactionary. If they die a certain way, they may just itemize to counter what just happened. Whereas if he just missed a kill because he didn't have an Orchid, he would have, want to double down on the Orchid.
It's one of those cases, I mean, the build-up for an Orchid's not bad, and Oblivion Staff is decent stats. So the fact he hasn't gotten an Oblivion Staff yet kind of makes me believe you might be right, that he could be thinking now, maybe the Yules is better.
Yeah, it's always a risky item to buy because of how expensive it is, the Orchid. So if you start dying a few times, very quickly the Orchid becomes a bad pickup if you're getting it at like 25 minutes into the game. So if you die a few times, sometimes you're like, I don't want this Orchid. So it's often better not to commit to buying those Oblivion Staffs.
Moonlight Shadows used by Fata there to make sure he escapes. Queen of Pain hunting for that kill, unable to pick it up. Man, this Phoenix is struggling. Literally a naked inventory right now. That is not often you see that.
Yeah, that is...
Courier, oh no, the Courier! Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I don't think
attack.
he's going to be able to kill it with just a Wyvern.
No.
It's a shield.
Oh, maybe.
He's trying. Oh, he might actually
He's got it.
Dire's middle tower
more?
is under attack.
Oh, the micro. Get it, get it! Oh, don't chase too long, though, Saksa.
He's going to TP out.
He's good.
He takes too many right clicks against the shield.
Dire's middle tower
idea.
has fallen.
Yeah, still space created, as we see. Look at the middle lane.
No.
That's a dead tower. Queen of Pain's coming in. Again, though, she's 6,000 net worth, but right now you look at her inventory, it's really not showing because she's sitting on 2,600 gold.
Similar to the PL, well, except the PL has just not got 6k net worth. He's got 4.7. He's really struggling. The troll answer is going to be yes to Battle Fury. I think he knows he's playing from ahead, and the Battle Fury is just going to guarantee he stays ahead, and also they don't lose to a PL when PL gets some items. If you're maybe playing from behind, you might not consider this Battle Fury as much.
Fata building that Maelstrom. Just curse. Oh, they're locking down, setting up the arrow. The Icarus dive, trying to, if anything, help tank it or distract, just do what he can. It's not going to be nearly enough, however. And now they catch Phoenix as well. Peter Van Dams in the back lines, hitting him with the root. Killing spree for Fata, who is now 3-0-5 on this Piranha. Meanwhile, Ancient's being done by Ace as you hear that battle trance going off, and it is going to be the Battle Fury as well.
Yep. This is looking pretty good for NIP so far. Huge kill lead. Not the biggest of gold leads, but it's, I think, pretty convincing given that they are playing a more farm-intensive lineup with the Troll Warlord going for a Battle Fury. You're ahead, you have a Battle Fury coming up on Troll, uncontested. They're kind of playing 4v5 while Ace farms right now. That's a very good sign for NIP.
Brewmaster, the Hood of Defiance value of this game. Queen of Pain, a Pugda. You're not really worried about Phantom Lancer physical damage anytime soon, so love that buy to pick up there. There's an eventual pipe if you find it necessary.
Keep it in bottom. They're going to find Flow here on the Pugna.
Surprise!
Yeah. That Pugna, he didn't exist for very long.
It's
It's tough playing Pugna from behind, too. That's a hero that you're often drafting to have a strong laning stage and to push all these early towers using your Nether Class. So, bad sign for Odium that they're losing with a Pugna.
And Lil, he had a Blink Dag at a really good time in last game. This game, it's not looking nearly as pretty. He's in trouble. In fact, he's going to help kill his Queen of Pain at this rate. Primal Split going out, setting up a splitter. Blast and a start for the Hurl Boulder. Perfect timing once again from NIP. This just looks like a different NIP squad here in game number 2. They are executing very well and very efficiently. And that's at least the tier 2 top lane tower going down as well. They caught Phantom Lancer? Not going to go, though.
Flying. BBD does have overgrowth here if they want to go for this kill.
Lil's also trying to get away, so yeah, they could use that overgrowth as mentioned. There's a route to open things up. Not using it just yet. Lil will go down in the meantime. They have Fata flying in. The arrow's just going to miss, but the overgrowth connects. And PL, no doppelganger, able to be used.
Very nicely played. Phoenix, I think, is just dead to the Brute Chase. Pick by pick, they are just steamrolling through Odium. A 65% 70-minute game 1, and this is looking like a much quicker affair.
Is under attack.
Even more so because Troll isn't even playing Dota with him. He's just jungling. He's giving them battle trance. Let's be fair here.
Oh yeah,
he's helping them kill some supernovas maybe if they come into play, but they are going to get a Rex while Troll just jungles. PvE. That's the dream carry game when you don't have to do anything. Your team just carries you.
Oh yeah, there's the Battle Fury, 18.5, and that's what on top of the Regacula, the Phase Boots, the Wand. So it's not like a naked Battle Fury by any means. It's a very efficient time here when you consider all that taken into consideration. So yeah, Tier 3 already did. Again, without the Troll even being there. Sure, the Battle Trance assisting, but that honestly is pretty ridiculous. I suppose Fata's some good sieging as well with that attack speed increase.
And this PL Diffusal's coming so late that it's just doesn't feel like it's going to be able to have any kind of an impact. He's still incredibly squishy too, so he needs to get that level 15 health talent ASAP.
Pugna's impact has felt very minimal too, unfortunately. The Aether Lens is nice. It's a nice start, but still a lot of work to be done.
I feel like we're seeing a bit of the downsides of this support Tiny. When it works, it can look great, but if you're not finding those kills and getting the early Blink Dagger, then suddenly you've got this forward position who struggles to play an Initiator. Last game, it worked because the toss was an initiation. They had a Centaur. This time around, there's no one really to toss in as a fight starter. And she'll kill on Ace here at top.
Witch's Curse, they're not going to use it. They're just going to run him down. At least that's the idea. Nice Phantom Rush. Still not going to add the damage to Fata. I mean, it's still early on, but he is right-clicking so hard.
Yeah, it was the trade for the Troll, so Troll off on his own, jungling up top and gets caught out. Oh, okay. 33 may be able to go for some kills here if he wants the Primal Split. And yeah, he's got an Arcane Rune, so he's considering.
He might as well, right before it expires. Oh, he's not going to do. Now he's going to maybe. That would be awkward. All right, 3-3. Calm down, dude.
Dead here. Wow. It looks like he wanted to go for a value play, going for the Lil kill on Tiny by getting a second clap. He wanted 2 claps before the Primal Split because killing that Tiny there he's pretty tanky. He may have actually lived to the Primal Split, so he's like, okay, if I get a second clap, it's definitely a kill. But issue was he didn't Primal Split, which meant that Lil could just TP out.
Oh no, PL just TP to the bottom lane after resurrecting recently, and say hello to an Overgrowth. Right as he goes to the lane.
This is why they last picked Tree, and it's not often you see teams 5 picking their 5 position, but games where it can hard counter the enemy carry, you're going to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. Lil will be fine for now. Pulls him back in though with a curse.
Tiny.
Peter Pan Dan's going to get this kill. There's the root, but he might be in trouble himself now, so never mind, doesn't get the kill. And now Trade is in trouble indeed. And PPD overextended, so good response from Odium there, taking advantage of a bit of greed, but again, you look at the big picture, NIP can have a couple of those trades / a little bit too far overextensions on supports like that right now.
Actually going to go Roshan, it looks like.
You're right, by the way, it is health and agility, yeah. So for Troll Warlord, that is.
Oh yeah, and then 15 the Dax damage. Yeah, the Axe damage is just way better. The only thing the Fervor stacks is good for is Roshan, which he's doing now, and hey, guess what? You can do it without the Fervor stacks.
Oh yeah, don't need it.
And hitting buildings with too.
I have a Mjolnir on Mirana. It's a pretty good item to have at 22 minutes into the game.
Absolutely.
Yasha into Manta next.
Tough and grim here for Odium, although they have found some kills recently. No, not again, the PL.
Ox just has nowhere to go.
It's been a rough game. Yeah.
It's similar to the Weaver last game. At least that was an off lane, technically.
Yeah, they found him more. Jeez. Yeah, a root into an arrow, I believe.
Yep.
Has a Yule speed up. It did end up going for the Orchid. I think the Yules would have been a better choice, kind of. But at the same time, if you use yourself after a root, you may be setting up an arrow anyways. Because if Fata knows you had that Yules to defensively get out of roots, he can arrow you.
If that's the logic, though, like, why is he still going it, right? So it's...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think a Yule's BKB build, as defensive as it sounds, may have just been the way to play this game. He may go for BKB over Yules now. We'll see
at this point, yeah. That's if it even gets there. I mean, they got a blink on Lil finally. That's that position for Tiny, but they're going to lose the racks at this point. Not much they really can do. Queen of Pain's up in a couple seconds. But NIP It's playing to win, baby. 13,000 net worth lead for them.
Got some damage and pushed down bottom, but ultimately not significant.
Ox is once again just going to make his way into the jungle. You see the vision of Odium very lacking as well. Defensive PPD avoids for now, but do they have any dust? No. They're just relying on sentries that were nearby.
Dire are scanning.
He's out.
Completely out of there. Wastes a lot of time. Has all this movement speed with the Tranquils plus Windlace. There's no catching up to Mr. Treant Protector.
Level 3 living armor now, so any bit of damage that they've done, especially this middle tower, is being healed up. Now, you look at the bottom lane, they did get the tier 2 even from earlier, so Odium has that going for them. Something tells me Pugna was a big part of that.
Yep. It was all him.
Who's managed to pick it up quite a bit, 4 staff, and has that scythe queued up, 1,300 gold saved up, so he is doing some work, PPD.
He's scouting them. He knows they're down here.
He's going to open up the Lil, sets up an easy arrow. That is tiny, though. That is resistance. What I'm getting at, the Sonic Wave will return. Fata's melting, and he's dead for more than a minute. I mean, that's not worth the trade.
Oh, PPD survives. He used living armor on himself to guarantee that, but yeah, Fata got decimated there. They don't get the Blink Curse to stop the TP out, so good burst damage coming in from the Queen of Pain.
Gonna catch Slayer at least. They should be able to easily kill this, of course. Just delaying. They do kill Phoenix, but yeah, even with that, that's what, 900 gold I want to say? Yeah, 905 going the way of Knight. That's like the perfect thing for Odium. Other than maybe Phantom Lancer getting his sure, but still. So he's got the Eels now.
Eels into Lincoln. I guess the Lincoln will stop that Winter's Curse, which you can set up arrows, but really doesn't seem like a...
Dire's bottom
that's definitely a reason in itself to get it, but it's not going to obviously save you from everything. You're still getting punched by Treant Protector and Overgrowth. You could still get rooted into an arrow. There's too many ways you can die that. You can't build defensively for everything. And that's why he's just prioritizing certain things.
Easy Shrine kill, 25 minutes in. That's got to feel pretty good for NIP, that is. Well, taking over the map even more. I mentioned earlier about the lack of map control by Odium, and you go to their vision once again. It's a very dark map right now, and it's not going to be changing anytime soon at this rate, especially with the Treant scouting around and the lead that they have. So it's, well, what, make a smoke play, go for a kill, you think, if you're Odium? What's the deal here?
It's tough with the items the Radiant side have right now, but you may just have to wait for your next Supernova. You've got level 2 egg. Probably see them go for that smoke around the next Rosary spawn. They want to, or at least the Aegis expiring. They want to wait for this Aegis to be out of Ace's hands, which is 45 seconds away, so... Only lost the one top lane of Rax during this Aegis timer. Does still give them perhaps some hope that they can take a team fight and turn this game around. Oh no. Alex, he's so close to the danger zone right now.
Moonlight Shadows. Can they catch all the way down here? No, they get cut off with PL. And it's like, well, I guess they'll take PL, but they're hunting towards Queen of Pain initially. In fact, Queen of Pain's going on a Zaxa. They need to kill him quickly, and they do. He didn't have a Glimmer Keep up at the second.
Looks like they're going to ignore all that and just push down mid, though. Ace is already on the tier 3 tower.
Oh yeah, they have to defend, obviously. Buyback for Wyvern, even an aggressive buyback. BL's dead for 24 seconds, not that he's a huge concern anyways. Lil, he just felt the second he kind of went in, the Mjolnir auto attacks do him in, and Primal Split gonna lift out Pugna, get a little more damage on the racks before maybe falling back. I don't know. NIP is still going back in, actually.
Yeah,
for his number Aegis.
He's a bit unsure about this push. He doesn't have a BKB. But with the Manta style, he feels safe enough. Nice curse.
Yeah. Phoenix goes in by himself on the side. The timing goes awkward. He gets the Supernova off, though, on top of the Avalanche combo with the Sonic Wave. It does connect an accident, or Troll's dead, excuse me, for 65 seconds. So they come together, and that's what Troll was scared about. It eventually happens.
Dire are scanning.
Yep.
So a bit of a hold.
Yeah, going onto that high ground push without a BKB is tricky, and the Manta is kind of useful in some ways. It's a better late game scaling item where you're not coming for this early BKB. You're just going to be a scary late game threat. You can get rid of the Fire Spirits, the Decrypt with it, the same you can with the BKB. So he just felt like, you know, going for a less reliable building, hitting item, and it kind of cost him there.
Brewmaster with the Radiance, though. So again, even when PL starts to get some decent farm going, it's
He's still far away. Yeah, he's got the health talent now, which small boost in his survivability, but he's going to need a Manta style for these Treant roots. And Treant even has a gem now coming into play, so PPD quite farmed for a Treant.
Vacha's in trouble. Dead trouble, in fact. They got a nuke coming out from Pug now. Yeah, that was a smoke play right there. They catch Vacha sleeping a little bit, pushing out the lane. And it's plays like that that will slowly let Odium come back into this game. And again, buy that space for Phantom Lancer. As struggle of a started spin, he still has potential to be that late game carry that we all know is very annoying and very powerful.
He's still a PL. Absolutely. Still, yeah, the grim state of this game is not one Odium would be too happy about, but pickoffs like that, if they keep on coming their way, will add up over time. Next Roshan will be coming up in the next minute to 4 minutes, and that'll be probably where NIP have their sights set before they go for a high ground play.
So there's a Lincoln's finish on Queen of Pain. So completing that, mentioned earlier, as far as the theory crafting and then why she may want it. Now Shiva's even queued up, so started with the Orchid, very aggressive. It's just going just defense across the board here.
Yeah, it's kind of essential at this point. Just rely on your Sonic Wave and the nuke damage to carry you in team fights while staying alive.
Top lane, Mirana. Oh, great Manta dodge there. Towards the Avalanche, and now looking to go back in, has team support nearby. Moonlight Shadows, Troll. Nice. Ace is not so sure. He doesn't have his own BKB yet, so I guarantee Ace is making the call of the guys, I need my BKB. Let me finish that before we really overplay here.
Yeah, both carries have actually gone for these Mantas over BKB, which is not a bad or wrong call by any means. It's just forces you to play a bit slower and more for the late game. You can't go as aggressive for these pushes and team fights when you don't have a BKB against the heavy magic damage and the Phoenix as well of Team Odium.
Now, despite that, all three cores are going to BKB now.
Yes.
The Brew, the Mirana, and the Troll.
Yeah, the upside of this is you just farm faster, and when you get your BKB, you get it when you're at this better timing rather than getting it too soon. Sometimes you just see these fast BKBs backfire because you just wear through the long charges too early. And you're like, oh, you've got a BKB, but you don't have any items to do damage while you're BKB.
Bill catches 3-3, trying to TP. No, that wasn't TP, that was something else anyways. He's not turning though. Grandpa he's not really concerned about that. Pugna, he gets hit by the Witch's Curse, 3-3. Off of the Primal Split after the Sonic Wave committed onto him. Supernova, that's not working with the Troll nearby. They also kill Pugna, and this is turning in NIP's favor, so Odium thought they had a jump. But, of course, Brewmaster especially is probably the worst target you could jump.
Yeah, and Treant was already in position to counterplay it, instantly gives him the living armor, and then follows up with an Overgrowth to make sure he doesn't take too much damage. Very nicely done to keep him alive. And they may go down mid even without the Aegis here. They may feel confident because Troll just picked up a BKB. Mirana's got one queued up. Brew is about to complete his. They probably feel like with Supernova on cooldown, they actually have a chance to take mid-Rex.
Troll leading the way. In that middle, again, the melee Rex, all that stands up currently. Phoenix is up in 6, though. Pugna as well, but again, no Supernova as mentioned. Vacha lives in. A lot of attack speed. They will have a pop fortification for this. Battle Trance also comes out. Actually wearing off, though, so yeah, they're holding for now. Mox even sending himself in his illusions, and nope, okay. Looks like Vacha's making the pause call.
Little pause. Chance to reset and rethink about what's going on.
Yeah.
Not that that was the reason they paused.
it just helps. It's a nice benefit, I suppose. Roshan is up, so if you are NIP, I'm sure they're thinking that. Get some vision up around the Roshan pit first, and then perhaps look to do it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think you need to go all in on this melee Rax. You've got a 3 Rax advantage already. Your BKBs are en route for the Brewmaster in 75 gold. Mirana's a bit further away, but you could theoretically get Aegis and Cheese and the Mirana BKB before even going for your next team fight. Because if you go for that mid-melee Rax and there's a team fight, if you win that, you're probably getting Megas. It's probably GG. So I think for NIP, they're kind of one team fight away from winning. They can make that fight count and just have all the tools they need to win it.
14,000 net worth lead for NIP. Again, definitely a different style of game here. First game going the way of Odium, taking control and leading their way to victory, although a little bit of a scare at the end, eventually pulled through. It's been all NIP this game, and another game where you look at, the win probability chart, it suggests that NIP should win this.
Yeah, it got up really high at one point, it looks like.
I mean, it's still 98-2. Like, it hasn't dropped below that 95% mark, I want to say.
Yep.
So it's this would be quite the comeback from Odium, that's for sure.
So it looks like it is going to be a full retreat, drawing circles towards the enemy jungle. They're going to farm out all these enemy newts, it seems, and probably hit up the Roche pit.
Haste.
Pain pushing out bottom lane in the meantime, maybe almost expecting that. Just might as well take advantage hero, but as I say that, she's going to blink TP, and yeah, they were coming. Oh, the arrow that would have hit just a second later.
Heads up play, Bata knew kind of what was going on, but at the same time, so did Queen of Pain. So Naiv's looked very good this series. His Storm, and even though his Queen of Pain is struggling this game, not having the best game, I think he's made the right decisions and playing as conservatively as he can.
They have a sentry here, but they don't have vision up there. In fact, the Icarus dive in. Pink's coming out. They place the ward. Now they definitely see him. So he's going to counter in the process. Here we go. Knife jumping in. Orkin applied. Sun Ray burn. The Cold Embrace probably not going to save it too much magic damage, but now 3-3. He's going to jump on top of Ox. Ox all of a sudden by himself, no more illusions. Doppelganger in the back lane. Ace trying to jump Naive, but without a little bash proc. No way he's keeping him in place. Ox is still dying, though. Those auto attacks trying to toss him away. It will be enough, but he gets pulled back in by the Winter's Curse. Just when he thought he had to escape, he's still minus game. Are you kidding me? Tiny doesn't have Dynacore's great Supernova stun as well. Going to be coming out for the Phoenix and the Sunray on top of that. Bata melting away, trying to finish off Queen of Pain. She cannot. And Queen of Pain blinks away the last second. The escapes of Odium are just on point here.
Everyone's just on a sliver of health.
Yeah.
They lost the gem. Odium are holding.
Brewmaster has the gem now.
He's got no blink for now.
Ox, he wants to chase. Knows he doesn't have a problem split. This is probably a kill.
Hogner, they've got this.
Oh.
Got away to stop the blink.
Nope.
Damage is enough.
Well.
Wow. What a big fight.
Yeah.
They thought the PL was dead, but he lived because of his hood, which he used very, it was either on cooldown or he just saved it till the very end, but the Splinter Blast was thrown when he was on 100 health, and he blocked the damage with hood. Otherwise, he was dead. And I think that's why they didn't chase for some extra right clicks, because they could have gotten some more right clicks in. Brewmaster maybe could have chased him. Not the case, and if Odium get this Roshan, this game is suddenly a whole lot more even.
Absolutely. If anything, it's a denial from the Troll lineup getting it. I think it's the biggest benefit right here. Now, Troll's going to send in some illusions with that Manta style, and it's not the quickest Roshan.
BKB, he might contest this.
Ace is going in, you're right. He wants to do this. He doesn't BKB just yet, has 11 armor. Gonna at least distract again. They're not killing it quickly, and that could be their bane. Arrow Fly Suit does not connect. Immediate Dagon on a Bata says hello. Ace going in, he wants it! No, the Aegis is going to be picked up by Nave now. Can Ace get a kill out of this? The Overgrowth, they're going to pop the Aegis right away. Ox also gets Bash Proc. He too is dead for a minute. Naive coming back up. No Bash Proc on first hit. He'll be able to blink away. Flow. The Grabify on the run. Living armor. Or more so the Leech Seed applied. And we'll secure that kill.
Phoenix immediately buying back, feeling like they're going to need him should they want to defend this one. And a much better team fight from NIP. They just were a bit too slow at killing this Roche. PL just doesn't quite have the farm and items to bring it down quickly. They did luckily get the Aegis and Cheese, or it would have been a complete disaster. And denying it from NIP ultimately probably was a worthwhile decision, but they find themselves, once again, desperately pulling together whatever they can to try and defend their high ground.
This series in general, we've seen plenty of high ground defense, though, and you just think it's not going to be enough, so can't note him out just yet by any means, but that will be the middle racks officially going down, and all of a sudden it is just the bottom. They already have the creep wave pushing it. You got to think with Puckman still dead for 30 seconds, NIP wants to keep the pressure on.
It just starts right-clicking it. Now it's Troll's turn. Another nice Manta.
Doing Lil. Primal Split is ready. He doesn't even need it. 600 plus free will help. Lil's dead, and this is very likely going to be Megas at this rate. The Supernova very deep in the back lines. But you see NIP will just outrun it, or just zone it.
Yep. They're out of range, and Thought is still hitting the rack, so It's like at least this bottom melee racks, probably both racks is going down here.
Yeah.
They've got Megas.
They do. Queen of Pain, arrow setup, anything. Not really, but the overgrowth, I suppose.
Oh, the arrow goes through them all. Goes trying so hard to hit the heroes on the left while dodging creeps that he just missed everyone. But they'll GG. It is Mega Creep, so we have a game 3.
Yeah, we do. Mox just leaving early even. We do got a game 3. Again, a little bit of a scare there. I want to see that win probably. Okay, it still never really suggested that Odium had too much of a chance. But that was entertainment at its finest there from Odium especially. Given a chance. But yeah, NIP, much cleaner game from them, I think it's safe to say. The teamwork was great. And as expected, I think the Brewmaster truly was the great pick there for NIP. 3-3 got the control early on, and he kind of set that tempo, set the tone with that early blink.
Yeah, he got it so incredibly fast that they were able to have Ace just sing in the jungle while the team kind of did play 4v5. They got the tier 3 top tower while Troll was yet to get involved, which is a great sign of where things were at. They were able to be, consistently secure Roches. Other than that last one where things were a bit messy, but up until then it was kind of like, everything going according to plan. And it looked pretty solid from Optic. Small little slip-ups in the late game, but I think you're playing these online tournaments and the game's kind of in the bag. Sometimes you're just a little bit less focused, which is kind of what that was a bit to me.
All right, so game 2 once again going the way of NIP, so that means we got a game number 3 that's going to be coming up here for the GG.Bet Invitational. Our only series today, but it turns out to be a really good one.
Yeah.
And so excited to see the finish that we do have ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Game number 3 going to be coming up next here after a short break.